Hey, in this video, I want to show you how I'm integrating the magic mask in my workflow in order to make specific adjustments. So let's just first watch the clip and then let's just dive into it. The shot that I want to work with is this one. This is the node in which I use the magic mask combined with some other tools. And what I did is I took a bit of the contrast out to have his face look a bit more soft, a bit more filmic, because I felt that the contrast was too much, the highlights were blown out, and we were losing all the detail in his hair. If I zoom in here, this is how it's looking at the moment with the correction, and without the correction, you can see how I dialed down the highlights and also how I lifted a little bit his hair to have a bit more detail there. What's key here is to have this correction subtle, because if I overdo it, I can lose all the contrast and my image will end up looking worse than what I started with. I'm going to reset the node because I want to show you all the corrections that I did from the beginning. Something else that I want to do is to go to my timeline, and just for now, I'm going to disable all the nodes that are applying a look to this shot. I'm doing this because I want my magic mask to run smooth in order for you to see better how it performs. I'm going to the first frame of this clip, and with my magic mask tool selected, draw a line on the subject's face. In order to see what I'm selecting at the moment, I need to toggle the mask overlay on. With the mask overlay on, I can already see my selection in red. The hair is not all selected, so I'm going to draw another line to add his hair. So this improves a lot my selection. But if I zoom in, as you can see, the border of my mask is not great. So his hair is not all there. The edge doesn't look good. So the first thing that I want to do is change the quality from faster to better. Once I do this and I zoom in, I can already see that my selection improved a lot. All this hair that was left out, it's selected now. This is already looking quite good. But I can also refine range and see if I can improve it even more. The refine range will improve the borders of my mask. On my mask tool, I have other controls that I can use to improve my mask. The blur radius softens a bit the edges of the mask to create a smooth transition between the mask and unmask areas. So let's see here if I change a little bit the blur, what's the result? Two controls that are important to know are clean black and clean white. Clean black will remove noise from the unmasked areas, and clean white will reinforce the masked areas. But what do I mean when I say clean black and clean white? If I go to my viewer modes, I can select to see the highlight. This mode of the viewer will show me the selection that I have at the moment. But what I want is to select highlight black and white. This way, I can clearly see in black and white what's transparent and what's not. So black, it's what's going to be 100% transparent, and white is going to be my selection. The gray areas have a certain percentage of transparency, and in this case, I quite like that because the mask is actually keeping the transparency that I have where the hair is. I will toggle the mask overlay on again. And what I want to do now is track the mask forward because at the moment, the only thing that I have masked is just this first frame. Tracking was quite fast and I'm really happy with the result. And now what I need to do is apply the corrections. Because I'm going to be working with color now, I will enable all my look nodes. I need to have the node with the mask selected. I will go to my primary color wheels and bring down a bit the gain, lift the shadows. To be more precise, I will go to my log wheels, bring the highlights down, and also I'm going to lift the shadows. Let's see what's happening here on his hair. And as you can see, we're starting to have more information. I think I'm losing a bit of contrast, so I'm going to bring down the gamma a little bit on my primary color wheels. Maybe the lift here now needs to go down a tiny bit. I'm also losing a bit of saturation, so I'm going to add a bit of saturation back, maybe 55 before and after. Let's play it once to see if the correction is there and it stays in place. And as you can see, the correction is subtle, but it helps improve this image by removing those really harsh highlights and crushed shadows. That's it for today. I hope you liked it. The Magic Mask is a really powerful and easy way to select certain parts of your image in order to make targeted adjustments. If you want to have access to the DaVinci Resolve project to see how I graded the rest of the shots and also to the log footage that I used for this clip, please consider subscribing to my Patreon. There you will have access to these assets and many more. See you in the next one.